Live from the Kodak Theater in Hollywood, California, it's time once again for a couple of Oscars with Corey and Carlisle.
Yes, man. Stole these donuts from the party.
That's right, from the crafty table. No, it's great. No, we say we're live from the Kodak Theater, but really we're in Corey's apartment, noshing on donuts. You're wearing gym shorts. I mean, you're like really chilling tonight.
Oh, man, it was nice. It's been like 70-something degrees there. And, I mean, hey, look, people don't know me. I exercise a little bit. So whenever it's nice outside.
You exercise a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I exercise, but... I got to work off these donuts somehow. So yeah, I do exercise, and I went. But I like to go running when it's nice outside. So I still got on, even though it's cold outside now, I just didn't feel like changing. So I still got on my running clothes and my shoes and all this kind of stuff. Now I'm eating donuts, which means you're gonna make my ass run again tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I have the donuts from River City Donuts here in Austin. There's the River City Donuts right up next to my house has this great guy who just gives out free donuts.
Really?
You buy a dozen donuts, and he loads up every spare space he can with extra donuts. Like, oh, you'll like this flavor too, and this one, and this one.
And you don't pay for them?
Well, no, I mean I pay for the dozen,
but he just gives them to you.
But he throws in like 3 or 4 extras every time. He saw me eyeing the eclairs, and he's like, "Here, have an eclair." It's like, dude, awesome. And that's per box. So like when you buy 2 dozen, like I've done in the past, you end up getting like 3 dozen. The guy's awesome.
You got me worried now. You make me thinking like he's Tyler Durden. I don't know what he's doing to these cream filled donuts here. but hey, as long as I don't know it ain't gonna kill me, I'm fine. It tastes great though. This is good. Of course, I took the chocolate covered one that I saw because I love chocolate donuts.
The Boston cream donut. There's also some apple spice in there and some lemon, and then whatever random flavors he threw in there. So yeah. But this is for our post-Oscar party where you and I are chilling in your cabana.
That's right, man.
Talking about the Oscars and the top 5.
So I'm looking at these donuts over here. I don't want to keep talking about donuts, but I made a discovery just about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I love jelly donuts.
You love jelly? I see a jelly donut there.
That's what I'm looking at. You talking?
That's yours, baby.
I don't want to be rude, but I'm about to get that son of a bitch because I used to think anything with jelly is disgusting. I hate that. I don't even like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But one day I was just hungry, and I just decided to bite into a jelly donut just out of desperation. I was like, God damn, this is what I've been missing all these years?
It's kind of like the first time you had gay sex. It was great.
It was sweet.
Yeah, you were like, really? I've been making fun of gays all my life, and this stuff's pretty great.
This is what I've been missing.
That's right. I love my loose stool.
Damn, even the computer stopped for that. The computer said, I don't want to hear that shit. All right, so as you know, people, if you've been listening to this for a while, you know what we do.
We know it, which means it's time for the top 5, brought to you by Spill.
You threw yourself into that one right there.
That's right.
Like you were so calm, it's time for the top 5.
Time for the top 5, brought to you by Spill.
All right, let's see what we got here. We have...
At the number 5 spot this week, we've got...
Oh, just in time for... how appropriate for the Oscars here. We have number 5, Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire, baby. What can you say? How many freaking Oscars did it win?
I don't know. It swept tonight.
It won a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was winning for categories that should have gone to special effects movies. Went to this, like, it won Best Sound Engineering or something like that, Best Cinematography. Yep. So,
no, it went to the awards went to categories it wasn't even nominated for. It's just like and Best Short Film, Slumdog Millionaire.
I don't know how, but hey, I'm just reading this shit. Yeah. So, man, that movie's almost about to get $100 million. Can you believe that?
Yeah, you know what? It's gonna. You know what? With as bad a weekend as next weekend is, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this thing pop up this week and next weekend as people go, "What do we see? Hey, let's see that Slumdog Millionaire movie we've been dying to see."
No, Oscars is going to boost it.
Yeah. Oh, big,
and
big
word
time.
of mouth already boosted the movie. I mean, think about it. It came out of nowhere. No big advertisement or anything.
I was in a room tonight with some people that hadn't seen it yet, and they were like, really? Should I see it? And I'm like, oh, my God, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You really don't know what you're missing out on. And they're like, no, I don't. And as they're watching it, they're like, this movie looks awesome. And it's like, yeah, it's really fucking awesome. It really is one of the best films of last year.
Yeah, no.
It was my number 3, and the thing is it keeps like wanting to inch up. It's turning into one of my favorite movies of last year. I'm going to watch it a 4th time here this week.
It was that movie where people kept saying, what is this Benjamin Button? I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. Go see Slumdog Millionaire, all right?
Benjamin Button's real good, but it's not as good as Slumdog.
I love Benjamin Button. I
it's
really
no
do.
Slumdog.
It's a tough year. I love Benjamin Button, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't hold up to Slumdog.
Yeah.
So let's go to
number 4 in the number 4 spot this week with a bullet.
damn. This movie just won't go away.
Don't tell me it's Paul Blart.
Man, Paul Bart's been gone for a while.
I know, but
You thought, word of mouth and the Oscars have really made Paul Blart come back into the scene here.
Now, what is the number 4 movie?
He's just not that into you.
He's just not that into you.
$70.1 million, man. It's not going anywhere. It brought in 8.5 this weekend. As you know, we saw it late and put up a review.
Yeah.
And after seeing the movie, because at first I was like, it looks funny, and I want to give this movie a chance. But now I'm just like, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it.
I get it.
Yeah. Oh, please tell me.
It's the only really solid chick film that's out right now. If you're a woman and you want to go to a movie with your friends, what movie are you going to go see?
But even then, the movie's a little bit over. Isn't it like almost 2? Isn't it a little bit over 2 hours?
2 hours, 9 minutes.
Yeah, I just thought like the length would at least bore people because even for a movie for women, I'm thinking, man, this thing drags. But whatever.
It's not doing huge repeat business, but you know what? Women are digging on it. I talked to a lot of girls that really like it. It's
yeah.
I talked to a girl the other day who liked Confessions of a Shopaholic, and I got away as soon as I could.
Well, fortunately, that movie's not in the top 10. Okay, let's go.
Which
our top 5. Go ahead.
To the number 3 spot.
Now, this is a movie that I am glad is staying around. Do you know what that is?
No.
Coraline.
Coraline, awesome.
Coraline
Good to
is
see
number
it.
3.
Good to see
That
it.
movie is making steady business, man.
And that's important for a film like this because once it does well enough, it's gonna allow these guys to do another film, which is all that really matters at this point.
Yeah.
People who are animation fans already know about it, already saw it the first weekend, and it's slowly seeping out to everybody else.
Yeah, and I love this because that means that people are going to take chances. I mean, there's a good balance. I didn't see the movie, but I heard it's a good balance of story and artistry, especially for a movie that risky because it's stop motion.
It's a really good movie. It really is.
I'm looking forward to watching that. Let's see. It has like $53.4 million, brought in $11 million this weekend. So moving up.
Excellent. Coming to the number 2 spot in the top 5.
Best foreign film Oscar presenter tonight who loves to go to foreign countries and tear shit up is Liam Neeson in.
Oh, rock on. And Taken.
Taken,
I love
man.
that Taken's still up there, man. God, I
yeah,
love Taken.
$95.2 million. I'm glad that movie's kicking ass too,
Dude,
man.
Didn't it come out in January? Wasn't it the very last week in January that movie came out?
Something like the second or third week third week in January because it's been out 4 weeks now.
Yeah. That's freaking awesome that Taken's still up there. I love this movie. I think it's great. If you downloaded it and watched it, go see it in a theater, please. Or if you live in a foreign country, it just came out on Blu-ray, and I hear the alternate ending is badass.
Really? You have to tell me about that one.
I'm my friend.
You know what? Let's tell me right now. For people who want to know what the alternate ending is, who saw it, you stick around. Give us about a minute.
I haven't seen it yet. I said
you
heard it's badass.
Oh, you heard? Okay.
No. I'm really looking forward to it. My buddy who ordered it, he just got back in town today, so sometime this week we're gonna hook up and watch it.
Okay. All right. And finally,
which brings us to the number 1 film. Number 1.
I gotta give it to you guys. Y'all are right about Friday the 13th. It's still up there, number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a really fun film.
I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Medea. Tyler Perry's Medea.
Oh, did Friday the 13th actually go away?
Yeah, it went out. Yeah, it's dropped, man.
Well.
You know, man, whenever Tyler Perry releases a movie, you know.
I want to know, but everyone I know that saw it said that, I mean, his films just keep getting worse and worse, and that this film is just god-awful.
You know something? I've seen all of these Tyler Perry movies. I'm not the biggest fan. I support Tyler Perry. He's my hero. But as far as his movies, I cannot say I'm a biggest fan of these films. But this one made me laugh. And it is not good. Don't get me wrong. But Medea is funny as hell.
Oh, it is. So it's funny, but not good.
Well, because whenever Medea's on the screen, I mean, it's almost like two different movies. When he's playing Medea and she's on the screen, we're laughing our asses off, man. But whenever they get into this subplot, because Tyler Perry movies have they're two different movies going on. One is funny, and the other is like some serious melodrama with bad acting and bad dialogue. And this one, it's Derek Luke trying to save a prostitute, played by Rudy from the Cosby Show.
From the Cosby, like little Rudy became a prostitute.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's some skank ass prostitute too. So, and that thing is so badly acted and written, and yeah, it's ridiculous, but. people love these movies, man. What can I say? $41.1 million.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that sucks.
every time to be Tyler Perry, it must be a wonderful thing to know that I'm gonna shit this movie out and it's gonna shoot to number one.
Yeah. No, it's.
And like I say, look, Tyler Perry's my hero. Yeah. What can I say?
What's really kind of depressing though? Fired Up didn't make the top 5.
Are you surprised?
I am. I thought that the Teenage Girl Factor would do this movie right. What place did it come in?
9.
How much money did it make?
9. That's what I'm telling you. That's how much it made. $9. No, let's see. It made $6 million, man.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, okay. This is my thoughts on that film. These teen comedies where they don't really have recognizable faces, they don't do that well. The one that I actually love, which was what was that? Sex Drive.
Sex Drive.
Yeah, Sex Drive opened up
But Sex Drive
around the same number.
Yeah, but Sex Drive was a rated R raunchy comedy in a bad time of year. And this is a PG-13 movie aimed at teens when there are no other teen-driven films in the market.
Yeah.
So I was hoping, especially since I really did enjoy the hell out of that film, that was a lot of fun. I'm going to end up seeing that film again just because it was. I was at the Oscar party tonight. A bunch of people who had gone to one of the screenings this week. We were all quoting lines from it, and everyone was having a good time with the thing. And everyone else is like, "Oh, maybe we should see that movie." And we're like, "Look, it's stupid, but you're going to like it."
Yeah, I looked at that and I said there are no recognizable stars in here, so I thought this is going to be a hard sell, and sure enough, it went along that pattern that I thought it was going to go. So, yeah, not surprised at all about that. Not because I wanted to do bad. I just thought I don't think it's going to.
Where did Friday come in?
Number 6, and that brought in $7 million. So
all right.
So yeah,
it's still around, but it had a killer opening weekend though. So
it opened up with something like $40 million too, something like Madea did. I mean,
50. I think if I remember correctly, it was like $52 million.
What? Yeah, maybe
was it 52?
I
might
don't.
have been.
I don't. Let me see. No, it was like 40 because it brought in $7 million. It's up to $55 million. So it was like close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it must have been $42 million is what it brought in.
So yeah, there you go. That's the top 5 right.
So that's the top 5.
Now we did our big Oscar thing tonight. So we did updates as the Oscars went along. I was going to try and do a live thing, couldn't get it done. So people know our opinions on the Oscars. What you saw?
Yeah,
you were there. You were there at the Oscars. Yeah. You were in the Kodak Theater with your donuts.
I didn't want to talk
powdered
about
donuts
that.
in your beard.
You always give me a hard time for name dropping, and one of my buddies, Joaquin Phoenix, he couldn't show up.
Gave
for
you
some
his seat,
reason, and he said. He was like, "Hey, Carlisle, I'm not going to be there. I've got some gum to chew and some hip hop to spit out. So if
I
you
got a
could
beard
take
to
my
grow.
seat, that would be great. You're sitting next to Reese Witherspoon, so all is well." So I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll go."
So were they great?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, awesome!
It was, actually, no. To be perfectly honest, I was just like everybody else. I was at an Oscar party. Yeah. No, I was over at my friend Harry's house, and he had a nice spread, and we were just chilling, and it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of movie geeks there. We were just all watching the Oscars, and I actually really enjoyed the Oscars. I think it was the best Oscars I've ever seen. It rivaled the Whoopi Goldberg year, in which she just went all out. But that year had some problems. But what I loved about that year and what I love about this year is just how damned irreverent it was. I mean, they made fun of themselves and Hollywood blatantly tonight.
Well, some people did. Not everybody wanted to. Because my highlights of that were Steve Martin, Tina Fey.
Yeah, that
Jack
was great.
Black.
Jack Black with the whole Pixar thing.
Yeah.
What do? Well, I take all the money I make from DreamWorks movies and then I bet it all on Pixar at the Oscars.
Yeah.
And then when it gets it, and he's like, yes. That was so great. I thought that
there was
really
even
funny.
a point where he was being pulled away. He did a little thing he looked at the guy who's accepted for Pixar like he was going to jump his ass. And I just laughed hard at that. Seth Rogen and James Franco had that great segment in there.
Oh, God, that was great. The Joaquin Phoenix bit that Ben Stiller did. Ben Stiller normally doesn't make me laugh. He made me laugh so hard during that sequence.
Oh, yeah.
When he just starts wandering off, staring at the screen.
I just wonder how many people are going to get that.
Just about everyone in Hollywood got that. It was so great to see everybody out in the audience.
People watching the Oscars, though, do you think that they were like, what the fuck is he doing?
A lot of people were. Only one person at our party like, what the hell's he doing? And it's like, have you not seen the Joaquin Phoenix thing? And they're like, no.
See, I thought somebody should have came out and maybe even Christian Bale himself. Somebody should have done something with that.
The Christian Bale thing is really it's had really bad echoes behind the scenes. A lot of sentiment, a lot like what I voiced in my piece that I wrote. That it's like, look, this is something that happened, and it's something that happens every day in this town, and it's not that big a deal. Because what the story, the TMZ didn't run, was that he had apologized to the guy. They'd gone back to work, and they finished,
he
all
apologized
their stuff
back in July.
Yeah. No, this is so long ago. And
I just thought for the general public, it would have been nice for Christian Bale to come out and just make, because everybody forgives them when they make fun of themselves.
Was Bale even there?
But no, he wasn't even there.
No, in fact, there were a lot of huge stars that didn't go tonight, and that's actually kind of what I dug about it. The whole thing felt very fresh. Jack Nicholson wasn't there. What the hell was that all about? But there was no Jack Nicholson joke, which is always a prerequisite of the Oscars.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson probably even got tired of that shit. He's like, somebody's going to stop, make a joke about me, and I just don't want to do it this year.
That great bit at the opening where where Hugh Jackman was, singing about all the different films, and then he gets to the reader. He's like, the reader, I didn't see the reader.
Yeah,
I didn't. He brings out the Craigslist dancers and.
No, that was his opening was great.
That was genius.
Yeah, but but it's funny because it got to a point where I said, "Wait a minute." When he came back out, I was like, "Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman is so-called hosting this thing."
Yeah, he vanished for periods of time. But you know what? That was great because it actually kept the length down a little bit. Because the event started at 7, but really they didn't start the Oscars until 7:30.
7:30, they did the red carpet,
and this thing was over by 11 our time, which means it went 3.5 hours, which is shorter than they've been having it lately.
Okay,
it was bam, bam, bam.
Well, see, you say it was moving quick. I thought it went a little too long.
What bored you?
Okay, I'll tell you what I thought padded this thing out unnecessarily. This is what I was laughing about before we started. That whole that Court of Krypton where people came out and talked about the best supporting or best acting thing.
Oh my God, that's my favorite part about what they did. Holy God, I love that new format. The new format is so cool. I mean,
see, I found that awkward, and we laughed at it.
One of my favorite moments of the night, actually, one of my very favorite moments was when God, why am I blanking on her name now? The crazy one who believes in reincarnation.
Shirley MacLaine?
Shirley MacLaine is talking about Anne Hathaway, and Anne Hathaway's eyes are just welling up with tears. In fact, that whole segment is what I call "Let's Make the Best Actresses Cry" segment. I mean, every single one of them had tears, but she was like welling up. And at the very end, you could see Anne Hathaway because they don't have her mic. She just goes, "I love you."
See,
and that was such a real moment, and that was what she got. She got one of her heroes to come out and talk about her genius, and that was her award. And even though she didn't get the Oscar, which she deserved.
No, she did.
She got an incredible moment in the sun, and I thought that was great. And I love how they only did that for just the acting categories.
Yeah.
And that was just really great because it also honors a lot of older, past winners. The one that bothered me, I thought it was really cool when it first happened until the camera hit her, was Sophia Loren. Where it was like, wow, we needed to find an actress older than you. So all we could find was Sophia Loren, and we propped her up on a bag of sand.
And it looked like she was a puppet or something because I have not seen Sophia Loren at all in years. The only thing, I keep seeing these old pictures, and my last thought of seeing her, I was like, damn, she's hot. I bet she's still holding up today. And I was like, oh shit, no.
Holy shit. Did we just find an old woman that Corey won't do? Is this the B. Arthur of this age?
No, because I was still looking at her cleavage. But just give me a bag and it'll be all right. Put a hockey mask on her.
And the Botox. She could not get an expression.
Oh, I know, man. It was weird. It was. I hate to talk about it because she was an awesome sex symbol at one time, but it was weird. And look, for a woman of her age, that's fine. Hey, look, if I was 98, I'd be all over it. But no, look, she looks like she's supposed to look. I guess I don't know. The woman's 90-some years old almost. So.
But I really dug the hell out of that format because it really gave us. There were some really good personal moments in there that you normally don't get.
Those personal moments I took as you are talking to each other and you're not really talking to the audience, and we're just sitting here looking at a conversation going with you guys. I admit I was a little bored by it. And I told when we were doing our updates, I said I expected them when they got their awards to be like shipped off to the Phantom Zone because I felt like they were being judged. It was awkward.
That was Leon that came up with the Court of Krypton line, wasn't it?
No, that was actually me.
Really?
Believe it or not, I was like,
that's a little too nerdy for you.
When Kate Winslet won it, I expected her to be like, no, wait a minute, help! So, no, believe it or not, I have my one nerd moment right there.
And it was. I really dug that. I thought it was a really cool thing, and it was one of the problems that this particular Oscars had. The one complaint that I really have is that all their retrospectives were just retrospectives of movies of this year. So we would see, all these clips from movies of this year, and half of them were movies that even I didn't like. And I'm a hardcore movie lover to the point to where there were a lot of movies in there that I like. During the action sequence, I'm like, yeah, they're showing Death Race, hell yeah! But then there's so much crap in there that I'm like, really?
Well,
you're showing clips from
and
that?
Yeah, they show everything. If you remember during the animation montage, they show Space Chimps and Star Wars.
I know I was like, wow, Space Chimps.
Yeah, I was like, wow, man, y'all. Okay, let's.
Well, you know what they didn't show? Fly Me to the Moon.
Well, that's a stretch now. I mean, even they would have to say, "Get the fuck out of here."
You know what annoyed me?
What?
They didn't show Waltz with Bashir during that segment. Best fucking animated film of the year. Didn't get nominated for animated film, which is why they didn't show it.
Yeah, because they wanted to keep it lighthearted. But
but Waltz with Bashir is so fucking.
Oh
good.
Yeah, I mean, but I know. I'm sorry they didn't get any awards either. So because it didn't.
Well, that from apparently from what I'm hearing, that was something of a political thing. That's just one of those everybody's pissed off at Israel right now, and
I can see
we're not going to give them the award because of what they just did in Gaza.
Yeah,
and even though the film is all about dealing with the horrors of what Israel's done in the past, it was something that they.
It's like he's still doing that shit. But look, overall, it was enjoyable. I thought at ending at 11, it did get to that final moment where I was like, this shit needs to speed up, man. I need to get on out of here with this. But it was enjoyable. I really.
So what'd you think about Spielberg presenting the Oscar for Best Picture?
You see Spielberg a lot these days. I didn't really think about anything.
Yeah, well, the thing is
it sounded like Harrison Ford when he came out.
The thing that Harry had mentioned and just kind of set off, all sorts of lights was the fact that he just leaned over and he's like, you think maybe he knew that Slumdog was going to win, and so he positioned himself to be able to give the Oscar to the Indian film right in the middle of this big, huge deal that he's negotiating with Indian film companies to bring Bollywood films here?
Is he doing that?
Oh,
I thought he was kind of quiet because he invested money with Madoff, and he was kind of pissed because he lost a good chunk of change.
No, that's Kevin. Why am I
Spielberg.
Kevin Bacon?
Spielberg's name came up too.
Oh, did it? I didn't know that he had. Yeah, did you hear? In fact, Madoff apparently he got off with a light thing. They did this. They cut a deal quietly. That's why, and they've kind of banished
I was
it from
reading
the news.
that, and I was like, are you serious? Yeah, it was New York Times, man. Get it on my phone. I was reading that, and I was like, it was so under the radar. I was thinking, is this something that they're debating or talking about? Is this actually going through? So that shit happened, huh?
That apparently happened. That they cut a deal, and it's just a very quiet thing. Apparently, there's a lot of.
And Madoff, we're talking about what's his first name?
Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff made the big $5 billion Ponzi scheme that happened.
$50 billion.
God damn.
$50 billion. He stole $50 billion
in a huge fucking pyramid scheme.
You know what? If you went out down the road, held up a liquor store or a convenience store, you'd be doing easily 10 years.
Oh yeah, no, well,
but
yeah.
Rich white guy steals $50 billion. He gets a house arrest in his quadrillion-dollar mansion.
Yeah, he gets to hang out there, gets to sell off all his assets on the side so that he doesn't have to lose all that shit. I mean, this country's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things where from what I'm seeing, just various stories that are popping up, it looks like there are way too many political people involved, like people who invested money in him were part of a bunch of these PACs.
Yeah.
That give money to congressmen. So effectively, there's a bunch of people who are in Congress and in the Senate that are supported by Madoff money that Madoff stole from other people. And so guilt by association type thing.
Yeah, and there's so many loopholes with this kind of Ponzi scheme, and Ponzi. Here's something curious for people. Everybody says Ponzi scheme, but nobody really knows what Ponzi is. Were you ever curious to know what a Ponzi scheme is?
Oh, I know what a Ponzi scheme is.
I mean, but do you know, why do they call it Ponzi?
Yeah, because it's the name of the first guy an Italian guy who had done it.
Yeah, he's not really the first, but he pulled out one of the biggest ones at the time.
And
Thomas Ponzi, I think is his name. And so many loopholes in this kind of pyramid scheme because it depends on, you're always saying people are going to get some sort of investment back. Are they going to get a return? At least you're going to get your money that you return back. But the only thing is that there's no profit being made. The reason why money keeps getting fueled into it because they get new investors.
Yeah.
So with all these new investors, once I heard entertainment people were involved, and you're right, politicians, I was like, these guys, they're going to find a million loopholes to get this guy out.
Yeah, and they got him out. Although I have a weird suspicion that
he's going to die.
Yeah, he's either just going to vanish, or we're going to read a story 3-4 years from now about how he died in some random violence.
Well, you remember that Enron dude? What's his name? The one that was about to go to prison?
Ken Lay?
Yeah, Ken Lay. And he died right before he was going into prison.
Yeah.
And I think.
He died of a heart attack.
He died of a fucking adrenaline shot in his neck from somebody.
He died of here's a fake corpse, and now I'm going to live in Switzerland.
You think that guy's still walking around?
I have no idea.
Who knows, man? But God damn it, we need a Punisher to go off and kill people in corporate fucking crimes, man. Forget street justice. Let's get a Punisher who goes from corporation to corporation, just executing people.
$50 billion is kind of a lot of money. That guy should have been hung.
Just a little bit, yeah.
And, I mean, once you get to that level, it's like, no, really, we're going to hang you. You are going to hang about the neck until you're dead. Good old-fashioned Texas justice.
Yeah, advertise that shit. Put it on TV.
Yeah, it's like, if you do this, we're going to kill you.
Welcome to the Spill Economic Hour.
Yeah. Welcome to the Texas Justice Hour. I'm your host, Carlisle. And this is my manservant, Corey.
Good evening, sir. Could I have a donut?
You're my bailiff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Mr.
about.
Carlisle.
That's right.
Man, so I'm trying to figure out what else is going on here this week. I mean, because this week is slow. Ain't shit opening but that Chun-Li movie, the Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li. And it looks head and shoulders above the Street Fighter that had Jean-Claude Van Damme. But a turd
the one
right
that
in
killed the one that killed
what's his name? The one that Raul Julia.
Yeah, I killed Raul Julia. Wait, I mean, how many movies? And this is how geeks are going to remember me for the rest of my life. As M. fucking Bison. Christ Almighty. He's in heaven now, going shit. That's all they can fucking talk about. My name comes up only when they talk about Street Fighter.
That fool,
Fuck those motherfuckers.
M. Bison. Now, for people who play video games, M. Bison is a huge fucking dude.
Huge Russian.
Yeah, huge Russian guy. Got the red uniform and the cap and everything. Raul Julia looked like Adam Gomez in a red chauffeur outfit. Yeah. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah,
man.
but then again, they had Jean-Claude Van Damme play Guile. One of the only Americans in the fucking game. And it's played by the muscles from Brussels.
That's New Street. I don't know if you play games, but that new Street Fighter game looks
everybody keeps telling me it's awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, dude, I love the new Street Fighter. Except one of my friends are like, I'm so fucking frustrated. It's such a pain in the ass.
I'm not even into that much. I'm not that much into fighting games anymore, but that one, I'm just like, damn. And I noticed they released the movie in time for the game. That movie looks totally fucking ridiculous. You know who plays M. Bison in this movie?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay. I don't remember the actor's name, but everybody's seen him. He is. Do you remember the villain from Walking Tall with The Rock?
No, I don't remember who the villain was in that.
Okay, damn.
That movie came and went. That was one of those that I had fun with, but it was like 82 minutes long.
Yeah.
It just went, wow, that was quick.
They were very straightforward with that film. Well, M. Bison in this movie is this blonde-haired American. You don't even see him in the red suit. I don't know if they're going to put him in there. But, you know who played? And then they had that boxer. that black boxer in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's playing there?
I have no idea.
What's it, Michael Clark Duncan.
See, now that's kind of awesome.
And everyone else in the movie, they got a guy from the Black Eyed Peas playing. Who was the Sri Lankan guy with the blades with the
Vega?
blade? Yeah, they got one of the guys from the Black Eyed Peas playing that guy. This movie looks like a fucking disaster, man.
This movie looks like deep fried ass. And
Damn.
guess who's gonna fucking see it in the middle of the night?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, us.
Oh, well, like I said, I'll be there.
We'll see,
I've done some midnights for some crazy shit. Hotel for Dogs who went to go see at a midnight movie, man.
So we can take Legend of Chun-Li. At the very least, we might get some fun out of it.
Yeah,
and who knows? It could actually be good. We were looking at Taken and going, really? Liam Neeson, aren't you a little old for this? And then it's like, oh, fuck, that's good.
No, but Taken looked. I mean, no, I never looked at Taken and thought ridiculous because they had that great speech in the trailer. I'm telling you, this.
Okay,
movie,
wait. Hold on. Let me readjust for a moment. I kind of forgot that it was a video game movie for half a second. Because you know me, I'm always hopeful. I walk into every movie wanting to love it. I walked into Paul Blart going, you know what? I really hope this is good.
Yeah.
And then it pissed me off. Yeah, no, it's so I want this to be good. I want to see a good Chun-Li movie because Chun-Li's my bitch, man. Back in the Street Fighter 2 days, I was the Chun-Li fucking master.
Were you? Man?
Oh, yeah. No, I kicked ass with Chun-Li quite a bit. And that was my thing back in the day. I was
See, that's my only excuse for hitting a woman. If she's Chun-Li and her kung fu is better than yours, then you have a right to defend yourself.
You must beat the bitch.
Yeah. Other than that, you don't hit a woman. But if she's beating your ass with some kung fu styles, then you got a right.
Chun-Li's kung fu is strong. And no, she's.
Have you not
awesome.
seen a trailer for this movie at all?
I saw a quick 30-second TV spot.
It's man. Let me tell you. I want to ask you and tell you some things that I saw when I was at New York Comic Con. Now, they showed the trailer in length for this movie, and they did it for G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is looking less and less like a good movie, especially when they try to explain it. Just show this shit, because when you try to dissect it and explain it, have people sit back and say, well, we tried to stay as close as we can to the authenticity of it. It's like, I'm looking at the shit right now, and it's not anything like what I remember, okay?
Yeah, no. It's so, you kept saying back in the day, back during the Super Bowl thing, that it was like Transformers, and I'm like, no, this doesn't look like Transformers.
Oh, no, a little bit, just a little bit, but they showed a longer trailer. I don't think this is going to be, and it could either go two ways. People are either going to say, it's not the G.I. Joe that I remember, and they're going to be too nostalgic for it, or they're going to see it as a new thing and be like, hey, well, I can take this. Because G.I. Joe has never been one consistent thing.
No.
G.I. Joe, remember when it first started out, was one guy, action figure. He was about actually
back in the 60s, yeah.
Yeah, back in the 60s, about like, he was almost a foot tall. And then when they went into the 80s, that's when they gave you like the sort of the village people version of
That's right,
G.I.
where everybody had its own thing, and you had like the gay sailor, and you had snow job, and you had the wetsuit dude, and it's like, and it's Dusty. Oh yeah, Dusty. Yeah, that's a straight name. So there's one of our listeners out there is named Dusty. He's like, you motherfucker, it's a straight name.
Yeah, what name's Dusty?
It's short for Dustin, asshole.
And my stripper name, but
just because I like taking it in the ass doesn't mean I'm not a man.
It doesn't mean that. Are you probably more of a man because of that?
That's right.
You don't know. It depends on who's packing. But let me see. Here's what
Booty Man.
Booty Man 5000 says. Okay, now here's the thing, though.
Tell us the thing.
I went to I hate to say this, but Star Wars, they have to go to these conventions, but they are running out of shit to say, man. Star Wars has nothing to promote. When your biggest thing to promote there is fanboys, you ain't got shit, man. I mean, to promote the Star Wars series on Cartoon Network, Clone Wars, which is not bad.
Fanboys was cool, though. I love Fanboys.
I mean, I'm not talking bad. I don't say promote it. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Fanboys. I'm not going to lie. But I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just saying, when you hear about Star Wars, they're coming to show you some cool games at least, or they got some TV project or something. I mean, this last one, hardly anybody was at the panel. Half the people left. One of the biggest highlights, and it felt like they were doing it to fill time, was to talk about fanboys. And then they said, okay, people, now here's the big secret about Star Wars. We're showing you, we're going to leave it up to you, the fans, what we're going to put on the DVD extras. and what they showed you was one something small deleted scene from Clone Wars, and then they showed you like a test reel, like actually unfinished Star Wars shit.
Well, you gotta keep in mind, these Comic-Cons were, at one point it was a big deal that these companies started coming to the Comic-Cons and treating them as real. So they just started out as fan stuff.
Yeah.
That slowly got bigger and bigger in terms of promotion. New York Comic-Con and San Diego Comic-Con have become the Sundance of the con world.
Yeah.
You can't be a film company and not take something to promote.
Yeah.
If you don't, you are considered not to be, either treating the fans properly or you're not using the promotional tools available. And it's silly. It's like a company that comes back without buying something at Sundance. You just don't do it. So that's what these are becoming. They become so big that they become too big. And you get these panels where people show up and go, "Oh, hey, you guys are Star Wars fans, right? Well, here's some pocket lint that George Lucas took out of in 1973."
It's just that they have to be there, and the fact that half the people walked out because they're like, "Man, you got nothing."
Yeah, and it's like there are other things going on.
Yeah, we can go upstairs and look at like all these video games and comic panels. There's other panels going on where people talking about animation and shit. Yeah, it was funny. Like it was a mass exodus of people who walked out. And they were just like, I don't want to hear this shit. And really, they had nothing to really offer. And I forgot the guy's name. He's at every one of these conventions representing Star Wars, and he seems like a nice guy. But every time he's out there, he's trying to make he has this used car salesman feel to him. Like
who are you talking about?
You know him. You know the name. I can't remember the name. Like I said, looks like a nice guy.
What did he play?
No, he didn't play anything. He's a spokesperson for Star Wars.
Oh, for Lucasfilm?
Yeah, I mean for Lucasfilm. Yeah, and he comes out. He's an older guy, white beard, the receding hairline. He's nice. Looks like a nice
George
guy.
Lucas.
Yeah, besides the other white guy with the beard. But he comes out. He's like, people. Now wait until I have something to show you. The wireframe for Greedo. And it's like, come on, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you're the wrong person for that kind of a panel, though, because...
No, trust me. People,
I'm just saying.
I'm not
because there are people in this world that would, get a hard-on for the wireframe for Greedo.
There were people at one time who would. Now I'm exaggerating. When I'm saying the wireframe, they just showed you like all the text mapping and all this kind of stuff for like Star Wars, the Clone Wars. But people are getting wise to that now, and there's less and less people who go into a frenzy for anything like that. They say, you got to come out here with some hardcore shit, okay? You just can't come out here and show us like a test reel that you obviously just put on a tape and cast to the side, and you think that's going to make us go crazy? No, not at all. And I'm glad to see fans getting wise for that because they demand more now.
Yeah.
They're like, there's too much shit out here. I mean, you're competing with a lot of things.
There's too much good shit.
There you go.
It's like, oh, hey, yeah, you're showing us these extras. In the other room, they're showing 18 minutes of Watchmen, right?
Well, it's in that room. It's like we just finished. Okay, we just showed you 18 minutes of Watchmen. We just showed you the first 15 minutes of Friday the 13th, and now you want to come up with with some fucking sketches from Star Wars, and that's it. Yeah. You get the fuck on out of here. And then we're going to go out line, and we're going to go outside and get in line for Up because we're going to watch 25 minutes of something real. Okay, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, man, I just think it's amazing to see how Star Wars has trickled down a little bit because people just
this was one of those things I dealt with Clone Wars because that whole thing with my Clone Wars story that ended up we had to pull because they enforced a late embargo on us. That created just a whole nightmare where it showed me how much backlash there is against Star Wars in this day and age because I wrote a really negative piece and had I expected all the Star Wars fanboys to come out of the woodwork and just thrash me, and instead I got a wave of support and emails from people who are really supportive and saying, yeah, no, I feel the same way, like we've really been cheated at this point. And it was really interesting. No, Star Wars it's one of those properties that's going to constantly stay alive because the people that spend money on it will continue to spend money on it, but it's not the big, huge draw it used to be.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you that, Star Wars, I think they'll come back with something great in a couple of years, few years, but it's not right now.
You're getting distracted, so I think maybe you're looking through email.
No, I'm listening to you. I just want to bring up the email.
Yeah, no, but I had a feeling that you were looking at the email on the screen.
Well, I'm bringing up email. I haven't even got to it yet. I was just
So it feels like it's about that time.
Do you want to?
Yeah, let's jump into email.
All right, let's go.
And how much time we got left?
Oh, that's what I was looking at too. I mean, we got some time, man. I mean, this thing is not going to run out for a while.
Well, let's do some emails.
All right, let's go to some email then. Anything you want to? Anything? We'll probably get to see Watchmen this week.
Yeah, I might be able to see it tomorrow. I'm being told that everybody's been under a strict embargo.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk that certain people have been writing their own reviews as submitted reviews and filing them just so that they can have Watchmen reviews up. But
yeah, there's been so far, man, as much as I've been looking forward to this movie. Listen, I was telling somebody the other day, even the most anticipated film for me, I go into not excited anymore because I just know how the game is.
You're burnt out. You're jaded.
No, I'm not jaded. I want to like something. I don't want to go in too excited anymore and walk out disappointed. And
right.
I don't want to go in with feelings towards the film which will make me come out and say bad things about it. I want to be fair. So far, I don't know how much you've heard about Watchmen, but so far, one really good review, 2 just okay reviews on it.
I've actually read 9 highly positive reviews and 1 negative.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good.
The people are loving it, from what I'm hearing, and the people that don't love it feel just disconnected from it. They feel like that it's so much of the film that it's just too dense, and there's no emotion connected to it. And I don't know. This is one of those films. I think not only is it critic proof, I think it's critic proof to the critics. I think there's a lot of people who are going in just wanting to love it and are loving the fact that they're seeing it 2 weeks early. I'm really curious to see what happens on day of release, when all the critics, when all the embargoed critics release their stuff at once.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I mean, I haven't read as many reviews as you, but like I said, I've read 2 that said they didn't say anything really bad. They just said good, not great.
The other thing that I'm concerned about is people are going to get burnt out on these reviews. By the time day of release comes, nobody's going to read the day of release.
People going to have their minds already made up.
Yeah,
I mean, you got that crazy Watchmen preacher who's on YouTube. Have you seen this guy? Said this.
Oh, that guy!
I love that.
Somebody
guy.
sent me a link to that. I couldn't get through the first 45 seconds of that.
Really, I love that guy.
Yeah, no, it was literally one of those things where it's like, oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me! This guy's retarded.
Oh no, that's why I loved it. I mean,
but see, you and I have very different tastes in what we like in YouTube. You love the Schadenfreude aspect, in which you love seeing somebody just make an ass of themselves, and you'll sit there. I mean, you loved. You were one of those guys addicted to Sex Man.
Oh yeah,
and you loved the Sex Man reviews, and I would just sit there and facepalm every time he came on because it's like, oh, dude, what the hell are you doing calling yourself Sex Man to begin with?
It's beautiful.
Oh, what a fucking retard. And I can't watch. I get a pit in my gut, and I'm just like, oh, I can't see this.
Yeah, no,
this
it's something
is not
squirm,
going to
man.
end well.
Yeah, no, it makes me squirm, but that's what I love about it. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow, I might be busy, so I might. I mean, we can't say anything about it really, so I'm just going to wait probably to that next week.
We'll see. You and I are. I'm definitely going. You might be going to this early MySpace screening, and then there's this whole. Then there's another one where, if I really like it, I'll end up going and seeing it again. But then we're all going to record next week, so we'll have a review up on day of release.
Yeah, as much as I love the movie. I mean, as much as I love a movie, and I might love this, I might not, but 2 hours, 2.5 hours is too much for me to go see a movie twice.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
2 hours and 45 minutes, yeah. What did I say, 2 hours and 40 minutes? Or what?
No, you said 2.5, but...
No, yeah, 2 hours and 40, man. The only movie I did that with recently was The Dark Knight, and that's because, well...
It was The Dark Knight.
It's the fucking Dark Knight.
But what if this is The Dark Knight?
So, let's go ahead. You want to get into some email then?
Let's get into some email. Let's see what people have to say.
They ain't saying shit. Nah, hell, we're gonna go ahead and answer some questions for you, spillios, spillers, spilladigos, whatever you call it yourselves. Let me see. We have one here from Julian H. Let me pick this thing up.
Yeah, why don't we find out what their name is?
Julian H. for Coco and Mac Rib. So he says,
Mac Rib.
I was very angry to see that Benjamin Button win the Oscar for Best Makeup when it was mostly CGI. I think that Hellboy: The Dark Knight should have won. Do you agree? No, that's one. He says, "P.S. Mac fucking Rib." Thank you, love Mac Rib. I think that's one of the areas where it really deserved it.
I think it definitely does. I think it was worthy of it. Personally, Hellboy had much better makeup. I think Hellboy, they did an incredible job there. But keep in mind, it's the Oscars, and when in doubt, you always go with the Oscar film. And Benjamin Button is more of an Oscar film than comic book movies. Hollywood does not want to legitimize comic book movies. There is a feeling that they are, just popcorn entertainment, that they aren't intelligent, and that they're just mindless fare. And they're still fighting for recognition. Look at what happened with the Oscars themselves. Dark Knight wasn't present and accounted for.
No, and I'm one of those people that thought Dark Knight should have been nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
However, in something like Benjamin Button, it's when you can bring those fantastic special effects and blend them into real life and make you convinced that they could work in a real life setting. Where something like Hellboy, way over the top, good effects, but still, I'm looking at Ron Perlman. I'm thinking he's covered in makeup and a rubber suit.
I think what's important to note about Benjamin Button, and for you being upset, McRib, terrible name, my man. I love you like a brother, but McRib, really? That's something that just comes around every 2 years, and they make a big deal about, and nobody fucking cares.
You haven't heard our McRib rants, man.
I hate McRibs.
Yeah, I won't go into it.
I didn't know that you could process meat that way and create artificial bones out of meat.
No, it's taken from boneless animals. What are you talking about?
That's right. So anyhow, point is, here's what will make you feel better. Benjamin Button got all of its Academy Awards for technical things. Not a single thing for the writing, the directing, the acting. It was completely ignored in all those categories.
Yeah,
it was respected for the technical achievement, which is what's great about that film. But the places where the film was weak, it was ignored.
I thought Brad Pitt was great, and I thought the movie was good, but still, I've seen that story before. Yes, I'm going to say Forrest Gump. Didn't take a whole lot to see.
Well, it was the same writer, and he wrote the same movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
It's a hummingbird instead of a feather. Oh, he learns to be a man on a boat. Oh, it's
like, come on, man.
Yeah,
really?
It's Jenny. I'm aging backwards. It's a really good movie, but that's what it fucking is.
Yeah, don't try to fool anybody with that shit.
So let's move on beyond the McRib.
Question for a Coco here from Phil. This is a very, very simple question, but it's a good one nonetheless because I have a good answer for this for me. What annoys you the most in movies? And I will tell you why I think that that's a good question, because I have something that I see over and over again in films that bugs me more than anything, and that is to see people jump through windows without getting a scratch. I mean, I don't even, you don't have to, because in real life, Carla, let me tell this story real quick. I'll make it brief.
No, don't make it brief. We're recording.
No, I know. I will. I'll make it brief because I don't want to take up. I don't want to monopolize the time. But you might have heard this before. It was in News of the Weird of the Darwin Awards. Guy goes to a jewelry shop, robs a place. They set off the alarm. Turns out he has a fake pistol, so there's nothing he can do. And they knew it was a fake pistol. So what does he do? He tries to pull. He really tries to be cool. He tries to pull some Batman type shit or some Rambo shit and jump through the window, like this big sheet of glass.
Yep.
He's running, gets down the street, and collapses and dies because why? He's bled to death.
Yeah.
And then because he's been cut to shreds by this glass. And then when the cops get there, the guy who owns or was managing the store behind the counter, or whatever, he comes up and he says, something, I don't even know what this guy was doing here in the first place. This is all costume jewelry. So it just should tell you that you cannot jump through a fucking window and not do this thing where you do not have a scratch. I'm asking for just a cut under the eye, anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my biggest pet peeve in movies.
Really?
I think about that scene where they took Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop and they didn't bother to take him outside through the door and throw him out. They threw him through glass and he landed and he looks up and he has no harm done on him at all.
The most annoying thing I see in movies, the thing that I hate the most, that just gets on my nerves, and even in good movies. I mean, this is that annoying thing that's just ever present, is when they kill the villain, only to have the villain come back 2 minutes later to wrestle them again, so they have to kill them again. I hate that. Oh my God, do I hate that? Because it's really gotten ridiculous. It's kill him good once.
Yeah.
That's all I want. That shtick was cool back in the day when we weren't always expecting it, and you get that little jump
Something
like, oh my God, he's
Fatal
not dead yet.
Attraction or something like that.
Yeah, but by now we expect it. When a villain doesn't go down and doesn't get a slow-mo death or some really great death, we know he's not dead, and we're sitting there going, come on, come back to life. So there he is. Oh, okay, great, he's back. Oh, good, he's dead now. It's quit jerking me off. You know, I mean, really, that's all it is. It's jerking off the audience, and it's retarded. It's something that really needs to stop, because we get it now, and audiences have gotten way too sophisticated for that gag.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely need to. That's very predictable. You're right. Okay, let me see here.
Let's do one more.
Let's do one more here. Okay. I'm just gonna pick one. Okay. This is for Let's Do This, but I'll read it here. Get to it sooner. This is from Elena, and she says, I know you have said you have a love for animated movies, and my question is, what do you think of Bebe's Kids? Have you seen Bebe's Kids?
You know what? I hate questions like that.
Why is that?
Well, dude, it's a what? A 17, 18-year-old movie that they just like, what do you think of Bebe? Well, I haven't even thought about Bebe's Kids in a decade.
Well, I mean, it's a good question because I have a good answer for it.
Go for it. I haven't even thought about that film. I don't give a shit about it.
It was based on Robin Harris's. If you don't remember Robin Harris was a black comedian at the time. He died, and one of his biggest sayings was "Test tube, baby." I mean, he was funny, but he did this whole skit about going to meet a woman and take her out, and her only thing was that he had to bring the kids, and the woman was Bebe, and he had to bring Bebe's kids. The comedy routine that he told, the story was hilarious. It's a classic. And so the guys who did House Party decided to make a movie of this, produce a movie. And the problem with that film is that they tried to tailor it too much for animation. They tried to put songs in there. They tried to have these funny gags that only work for animation, but didn't suit Robin Harris's story too well. And they were flirting the line between that, like, they pared it back. Robin Harris was, I mean, he was filthy, and he was raunchy. And this, they tried to push it back to a PG-13. Even then, it was like barely touching that line. So it's another example of taking somebody's wonderful material and trying to stretch it out. I mean, 'cause that story went on for about 10 minutes, and trying to stretch it out to an hour-and-a-half movie, and it didn't work. This might be an interesting watch on cable. Maybe even DVD if you're really curious, but that's it. So, tell you what, let's
do one more.
We'll do one more.
Yeah, I don't want to end with the Bebe's Kids question.
This is from Master of the Matrix. I think Matrix is something. It trails off. It's so long that it has ...
Masturbator.
Master of the Masturbator.
Master of the Baiters.
It has been said that 2009 will be just as good box office-wise as 2008, and that the films will be just as good as The Dark Knight. Well, okay. Wait
what?
A minute. What do you think about this? What the hell does that mean?
First of all, I don't know what it means, and second of all, it's a fucking Dark Knight question. I have one fucking rule, people. No, this is the second time Dark Knight's come up in these emails.
Well, technically, they did not ask a Dark Knight question. They said. They didn't ask a question about Dark Knight. They said that. Now, here's what gets. Well, it's like they say.
If you write the words Dark Knight, I don't want to talk about the fucking Dark Knight.
They say that they're saying that every movie. Now, you're talking about 2009. You said that they would be movies would be all of them. Like you're saying, every movie is just going to be just as good as a Dark Knight.
No, 2009 is not going to be anywhere near as good as 2008. 2008 was a magical year. It was the 1982 of this generation. We're going to be referring to several of those films that came out this year for decades. I mean, there are really some incredible films that came out this year. Some incredible genre films. Some incredible films that were just so great. that I know 2009 is not going to be as good. 2009 has the biggest question marks. Now, there's a few epic movies that have the possibility of being incredible, but they could also be gargantuan stinkers.
Yeah.
We don't know. There's several things that look really good and could be great, and it could be a great year, but there's so much shit coming out this year that just looks like utter garbage. I mean, did you watch that montage of films at the end of the Oscars?
Yes.
And there's some good-looking stuff
G-Force.
in there. And then there's G-Force.
They had some Eddie Murphy movie in there, and
No, there's some genuine ass programmed for this year.
Well, look, man, all I'm saying is we let go of that Dark Knight shit. Quit holding that as the standard for movies. I mean, talking about so many movies. Take every year as it goes. Take it as it comes, man. I mean, because you're only building yourself up for disappointment. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. We'll read one more here because this is a good one.
Yes.
And he says,
good. I hope this is a good one. No Dark Knight, right?
This is Dr. Acula.
Dr. Acula.
You get it? Dr. Acula. If you take the period out, it's Dracula.
Yeah, but Dr. Acula is an old gag, and it's a cool gag too. It's a classic.
It's like Lou Cipher and all that kind of shit. So, hey Corey, I was wondering if you remember saying during your guys' W review that you wish that Josh Brolin would get a Best Actor nomination at the Oscars,
which he did.
Do you feel that? Do you feel bad that he did not get a nomination? He got a best. Wasn't it supporting? It was best supporting.
Yeah, he got best supporting
and he got that for playing Dan White in Milk, and not for playing George Bush.
But at the time that we saw W, when it came out, we had no idea what we were in for with the other films. We didn't even have that heat.
And I'm not disappointed because really, the way he played George Bush, it was good, but it was a cartoon. With this character of Dan White, that felt like a more sincere performance.
The thing is, I really thought it was great when it came out, but when you see Frank Langella doing Nixon, when you do the second best presidential impression in a year, you're not going to win the Oscar, so may as well not even get nominated.
No, it was. I mean, I've seen comedians play him just as well. George Bush. Everybody does George Bush too.
I think he did a great job, but this year, I mean, really. I mean, the Best Actor category was incredible this year. There wasn't a single person in the Best Actor category where you felt like they didn't belong. It wasn't like Best Actress, where you're like, oh, come on, really, for the reader?
Well, I can't say anything because I didn't see the reader. I just took a guess. But
no, it's one of those things where you really felt like everybody absolutely belonged there, and Josh Brolin got his nod. So
yeah, no, he did. I mean, it was a tough category for people this year. So I'm so glad the Slumdog Millionaire won Best Picture. I'm sounding like I'm crying, coughing up a donut actually. So that's it, man.
That is it.
That is it. Yeah, we under some good time here. So anyway, until next time.
Until next time, amigos. Sayonara. Adios, guys.
You're one in a million. Yeah.